Hi, this is Shannon Moncrief Enders, and this is my mind map. I chose this picture for my central image of tectonic plates because tectonic plates shift and move, and this would be symbolizing shifting and movement in ideas to emerge. They shift, they change, they overlap and evolve. Some ideas that were once thought good go to the back, and new ideas emerge. For here I have children reading. Best known books in history of American education is 18th century New England Primer, and the 19th century McGuffey's Reader was most popular. Sales for the McGuffey Reader was in the same characters of Webster's Dictionary and Bible. In 1880 through 1908, most education reading instruction was the same as developing an appreciation of literature. In 1914 and 1919, this was a groundbreaking period. You see that Judd announced the difference between oral and silent reading. Gray, silent reading more practical, efficient, and effective. Parker thought expression helped thought, and silent reading was just a matter of intention. Ernest created 5 rules of spelling, and Thorndike is thinking. Reading is thinking. Reading is an elaborate procedure. I basically understood this to basically mean that a paragraph is like solving a multi-step math problem. Also, the emergent understanding of the reading teacher began. In 1930 to 1940s, radio influence was feared that it would have a negative impact on reading. I equated that to iPhones being technology that we feel today would negatively impact our students. Students always want things at the fingertips right now. It also came a time where basal readers came to teach children how to read. Having readers, worksheets, activity sheets, teaching manuals with lesson plans, which led to the commonly used tools, teacher guide, and the workbook. In 1940 to 1950, Louise Rosenblatt, very influential in the development of early reading response theory. In the 40s, look and say books like Dick and Jane came about. Writing was equivalent to handwriting. In 1950, it was a turning point, how the public viewed teachers of reading. Flesch urged a return to the phonetic method. Reading taught like shorthand, reading and writing taught at the same time, and it was definitely a skill and drill. 1960 to 65, in elementary school, writing became very important. Developmental reading programs progressed quickly. SQ3R, directed reading activity before, during, and reading were very big. I know when I was an elementary school teacher from 2000 to 2004, I used SQ3R quite a bit for expository text. So it still worked very well even at that time. In 1960, Goodman was influential in developing reading. MISCUes helped teachers understand how it affects comprehension. He had the graphophonic system, syntactic system, and semantic system. In 1960, the goal was to put the debate about the best approach to reading to rest. In 1967, Shaw's Learn to Read was funded research to help end that debate. And I like that picture of the guys yelling at each other because it makes me think of how we get very passionate over topics that are going to affect children. In 1970, Dick and Jane books were gone. Fair pedagogy of the oppressed speaks to the roles that schools can play in reducing social inequalities. I love this picture up here representing whole language in the 1970s. Application, it was high quality literature, children-centered instruction, thematic instruction, large blocks of integrated literacy activities, active and social learning experience, and teachable moment. Frank Smith's understanding of reading came about as well. In 1980s, unfortunately, we were considering schools were failing in America. Pat Cunningham called for a balanced approach to literacy. In 1990, the war ended, and research agreed to the phonetic and whole language balance. In 1998, the Workforce Investment Act developed a broader view of literacy that moved beyond merely reading. In 1999, Reading Excellence Program, it's very much supported every child in the way that each child learns. In 1997, Congress asked the NICHD and the Secretary of Education to convene a national panel to assess the effectiveness of different approaches used to teach children to read. They concluded that teaching children phonemic awareness is significant to improving reading. They determined guided reading, repeated oral reading has a significant positive impact on word recognition, reading fluence, and comprehension. The panel also discussed the fact that professional development is necessary for teachers to learn to use reading comprehension strategy effectively in order to teach children how to read and the different processes. So they started in-servicing teachers as early as pre-service to make sure that they knew the information appropriately. The NRP report continues to be the cornerstone of the federal literacy policy. 2000, the International Association positive statement said that all children have the right to early reading instruction that meets the individual needs and meaningful use of their first language skills. So I use a picture of children around the world to represent that. January 8th, 2002, Bush's No Child Left Behind represents his educational reform plan. I like this picture a lot because it's a child chasing the school bus. Thought that was representative of No Child Left Behind. This act made stronger accountability for teachers, more local control, expanded options for parents, and instruction of proven methods. 2011, Common Core New Jersey State Standard Initiative. Common understanding of what students are expected to learn. This is basically what we still use today. Things have been tweaked, names have been changed a little bit, but basically it's how we teach now. And lastly, I included the International Reading Association. They're a non-profit. They commit to worldwide literacy, and that's why I chose children of different types around the globe. Their purpose, they created in 1956 and established in Newark, Delaware. Their purpose was to improve reading instruction, facilitate dialogue about research on reading, encourage the habit of reading, and right now, currently, they have 70,000 plus members worldwide with 1,250 councils and affiliates. Again, this is my mind map. At first, this was a little daunting to me, but then I really enjoyed typing out my notes and putting pictures to go to represent the ideas that were in my head. I hope you enjoyed it.